Hey guys, I'm back at Rocky Point State Park. This is going to be a part 2 episode. All right, we are now walking towards the entrance of the park. So again, this was an old amusement park for pretty much the entire 20th century. They shut it down in the 90s. And all of the, well, not all of the, but a lot of the remains of the rides are still here. You can see the foundations and the remnants. Over there is the rope swing. And ahead of us is the old Skyline ride. This was kind of like a ski lift that would bring park goers up the cliffs over there. Behind the cliffs over there are some small caves, which we will go inside at the end of this hike. And this time I'm better prepared. I have headlamps and flashlights, so we'll go check out what's in there. And yeah, look at the old steel beams from the Skyline ride. We'll do a quick walk up and down the old Skyliner right here. So I would imagine that you would get on the ride over here. You would have to wait in probably a painfully long line back in the day. And they would probably have you get on the ride over here like a ski lift. And they would take you all the way up that rocky hill over there. So in front of us right here is the tip of Narragansett Bay, and this is a nice view over here. You can see the view very far. The Jamestown Bridge is in the distance, and you can even see on a nice clear day down to Scarborough Beach from this spot. You get a good view of pretty much all of Narragansett Bay, actually. Prudence Island's up ahead. I'll have a map on the screen for you, but the area this is at has a great view of almost all of the bay. Even the Mount Hope Bridge is way out in the distance over there. The Mount Hope Bridge is way out in the distance over there. You can see the two peaks of the towers of the bridge. And then Jamestown Bridge is also way out in the distance over there. I'm going to zoom in as much as I possibly can. Down that way looks like it's going to be some private property, but there's some abandoned buildings that we'll go check out. And then this way is the old saltwater pool where they would pump in the water from the bay and people would go swim in that pool. Not sure how filtered and cleaned it was back then, but you would do it. All right, so right now I'm gonna head to the end of the coastline over here. Looks like there's an old abandoned building that I believe is on private property, so we're gonna walk right up to the end of the Rocky Point property, just take a look, see how close we can get to this building, see what it was. And then we'll turn back around and check out the rest of the coast over here. It's a lot colder than I thought it would be today, but still is beautiful. Any day outside is a good day. Some cool stairs that must have led somewhere back in the old days of the park. And then there's the bay right there with the Jamestown Bridge in the distance. And I think right here is actually going to be the farthest that we can go before the park ends. Let me see if this is a no trespassing sign. Yeah, it is. All right, unfortunately we can't get any closer than this to the buildings over there, but it looks very strange. If I zoom in, there's like a foundation of an old house or a mansion or something that's there. And then there's the rest of the bay. That goes all the way up to Providence that way. Let's go check out the rest of the coast. All right, we're walking by the Ark up ahead here. This is where they used to have a large display sign. It wasn't LED back then, obviously, but it was like a big light up sign with each individual little light bulbs, and it would display the weather and the time and the date and all that for the park goers. We're gonna walk under here and we're gonna go check out the top of the hill, because this will have the best view of the park. If you look over here, there's actually some ruins or remains of the old walkway, the concrete over here, where people would walk up and down. You can imagine back in the day they would have, you know, mothers with their strollers, and there'd probably be like stands to the left and to the right of this place selling cotton candy, games, all that kind of stuff. Very different scene from what we have now today. All right, so up ahead, that tower that looks like a cell phone tower over there was actually an old rope swing. We're gonna climb up these stairs to the old House of Horrors right now. This is back in the day. You would climb up this staircase and you would go through this probably poorly built structure that had something's down there, had all the little scares and animatronics probably scaring the kids. And then right behind here was this big hill, which we'll climb to the top. You know, this hill obviously was still here during the days of the park, but I wonder if they didn't allow you to climb up here, or if it was fenced off. Now that the area has become a hiking trail, we can easily climb to the top. And that's pretty nasty. Looks like somebody left some trash. Please don't litter these hiking trails, guys. Just take your trash out with you if there's no trash cans. And to any state senators watching, we should have some more trash cans in the park so that way people don't litter all over the place. So let's install some more trash cans and keep this place clean. And don't litter. Okay, so here's the top of the hill right here. This is the famous view of the entire park. There's Prudence Island in the distance over there. And as you can see, none of these trees have grown their leaves back yet. There's little buds forming though, which is nice. And we got quite a drop over here. But yeah, nice and serene. I haven't zoomed all the way in. If you look in the distance, you can see the bridge, but look at that fog rolling in. The weather is very strange today, very cloudy. It was raining earlier. It's a little chilly for the spring too, but we're making it through. That bridge is very impressive looking though. All right now we're gonna climb down to the bottom of the hill and check out the other half of the park. We're gonna walk past the docks and we'll walk through the woods this time to get to the beach that is hidden. Nice secret beach if you don't want to fight the crowds of Scarborough or any beach in Newport, Rhode Island. There's actually a little secret beach we'll go check out here. I won't disclose the exact location of it, but if you're watching this video and you go to this park, you should be able to find it. Over here is the old, I thought it was actually part of the House of Horrors structure, but this is actually, I think, a remnant of an old watchtower that used to be on the hill. And yeah, some of this graffiti is pretty impressive. I think that between this structure and the caves in the back of the park, it led to legends or conspiracies or myths about there being hidden tunnels somewhere under this park. I think that it's probably a combination of these abandoned structures plus the caves that do go underground a bit, that people think there's like hidden man-made tunnels here, but that would actually be down in Fort Witherell. That's a different area. So the link to that video will also be available below as well. So again, this is the site of the first presidential phone call. Unfortunately, it looks like the sign is starting to fall apart. Hopefully they get that repaired, but I guess President Rutherford B. Hayes contacted Alexander Graham Bell in Providence, Rhode Island from this spot by telephone. It was the first phone call ever made by a president. Cool. And let's walk to the end of the pier over here. This area used to be a restaurant back in the days of the park. I think it was called the Shore House Diner or something similar. And yeah, it was taken down when the park closed, and pretty recently they built this new pier over here. So it's cool to walk to the end. And this will be nice. We're gonna walk out into the water over here in this pier. There's the rocks over there that we can climb and fish on. Looks like it's high tide today. Look at that. Nice coastline. Nice area in the middle of the summer to hang out at and cool off, for sure. Maybe not quite the best today, but for the summer, absolutely. And over here is the edge. I mean, you can imagine looking out at the edge of Rocky Point, which leads to the Atlantic Ocean. Below us is a jellyfish. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see the blob in the water, but that's a jellyfish. That's crazy. That looked like one of those lion's manes jellyfish. Here's a good view of the coastline, Mount Hope Bridge. And that's Bristol, and Colt State Park is all that way as well. Look at the cool details in the fencing on this bridge. You get some fish, seaweed. There's even like a moth, which I don't think exists underwater, but okay. And there's some seagrass. And you can see the red on these plants starting to come back too, which is really cool. Whew, I can really smell the ocean today. It's got that sea ocean smell, that salty air. So last time we were here in the other video, I did hike on the coastline over here on the rocks. I would like to mix it up today just to do something different than last time. We'll go through the woods and see what that looks like. This is going to bring us to the secret beach I was telling you about. So let's see where this trail leads. Go through some spruce trees. And again, I'm imagining that these were all existing at the time of the amusement park, but they must have been walled off, or you couldn't come here, because now this whole area is open. And obviously if you were coming to Rocky Point, you know, 50 years ago, you weren't coming to hike, you were coming to go to the park, the amusement park. But there's some beautiful trails back here off the beaten path. Over here you can see the base of the trees. That's a nice view. Got some ducks in the back. Look at that. Let's continue on. We've already done about a mile already hiking through this park since the start. There'll be some more trails to go. I think generally you can get around 3 miles if you do the whole loop or more. But I'm talking you gotta go around the entire park. You can see all the vines growing. Here's some berries, like little juniper berries. I don't want to test them out though. There's some more ocean views. It's a nice sound. And there's the beginning of the beach down there. Let's keep walking the trail and we'll get to the end. Oh, hey squirrel. Okay, look at this now. So, I mentioned earlier, if you want a nice quiet beach, you know, there is one at Rocky Point. It's hidden out into the woods or past the cliffs, but this is where the serenity really is. And this water is actually pretty clear today. Look at that, you can see to the bottom. Beautiful. Oh, look at this place. You know, a day like today it's quiet, and we looked out, we got a little bit of sun trying to peek through the clouds over here. This is like a little Florida experience over here in Rhode Island. And I'm really impressed with how clean the water looks today. It's probably because the beach season hasn't started and people haven't clogged this place up yet, but ugh, there's some mud down here. It's definitely high tide for sure. The water is going all over the coast and the sand. There's some ducks. I haven't seen one seagull out here yet, which is a little weird. I wonder where they are. Beautiful seagrass in that sky. The sun's starting to poke out. See where the water flows in and out. And let's say hi to the duck friends. Look at them picking at that seaweed, eating it. One of them's got something in his mouth. Eating the seaweed stuff. There's a whole family of them down here. And those ducks are really cool looking. They got like black heads. They're probably enjoying the clean water today. That's a cool tree. They put like a little rope over there, which I'm guessing must be for a hammock because you can't really swing off that. Oh, and yeah, I know it doesn't come through the camera, but the feeling of the air right now warming up with the sun, and then the smell of the ocean air or that sea breeze coming in is just amazing. It's freeing to be out by the coast for me. It just means you're at the edge of everything. Look at that. All right, we're gonna end the beach trail, and we're gonna finish the rest of the actual Rocky Point Park trail over here. And we'll loop back around and head to the caves. Look at that. And the water's a cool color today. It really is matching the background, the backdrop of the sky. There's all these painted rocks. Looks like each rock is painted a different color or design. I'm imagining people donated them or continue to paint and place them here. Over here is where the old Rocky Beach cottages used to be. I guess they were old homes that people would rent or buy. They've been since leveled, and what remains of them over here is this field. But this is a nice open field to hang out. This spot is great if you're just looking for a chill day in the summer and you don't want to even hike or have any kind of movement. Just pick a nice spot out in one of these areas and just lay that blanket down and just chill. You'll definitely get plenty of sun out here. And oh yeah, you can just hear the nature, the birds chirping. Look at this giant pine tree. That's cool how the needles are just hanging. Alright guys, there's the big famous Rocky Point cave down there. And here's the remains of the skyline ride that we saw earlier. You can imagine how this thing would move. I mean, all the gears and wires are rusted beyond belief now, but you can only imagine the sound of it when it operated. Here's the edge of this cliff. We're actually pretty high up. Yeah, that's some good urban exploration. You can even see the light that was up there at one point. All right now we're gonna go down to that cave that's behind me and check out the inside. I got a nice little flashlight up here, and I got a separate one that we can use as well for extra light. So let's go check it out. There's a wire left over from, looks like the ride. Okay. Here's the inside of the cave. I'm going to go in. Alright, there's a lot of leaves in here. Oh. And here we go. Look at this place. I got the flashlight on my head and we got another one here. Yeah, I'm not sure what that word is. It's the something cave that they wrote, but you can see there's some carvings over here, and this one says 1849 right there. So there's myths and rumors that this place was used for bootlegging back in the Prohibition days. And over here is the old track for the roller coaster they used to run through. So alright, I'm gonna hang out inside this cave for a little bit and do some exploring, but we'll finish the Rocky Point walkthrough here. Thank you for joining me on this hike. If you want to learn more about Rocky Point, the more detailed video will be posted coming up on the screen, in addition to any other projects related to this hike as well. Thanks for joining, guys. I'll see you in the next hike.